Hey, Brown Girl Banter.
Hey, it's Dr. Lucretia.
I'm Dr. Patience. How are y'all?
Hey, what y'all been up to this month?
I mean,
Hey,
where you been? Where y'all been going?
right, right. Where y'all been? Where we been? What y'all been doing? And this is what Dr. Patience and I are talking about because we cannot get out to connect with each other because of this self quarantine, trying to make sure we keep safe homes with safe people.
Exactly. So true. So true.
Yeah.
It's been an experience, wouldn't you say?
It has
Mm-hmm.
because we went from like the week of having the tornado, then trying to figure out how life was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing you know, you have COVID-19, and then you're self quarantine and telling you to stay at home, don't be out. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like it changed life.
It changed life. I mean, those people who were affected by the tornado and who had to then walk into this, I mean, my
Yeah.
heart just really goes out to them. We are definitely
Hmm.
praying for all
Yeah.
of you that are, caught in this, trying to find homes and
Right.
were
All of that.
out of work because your place of employment was demolished. And,
Hmm.
then
Right.
you go into this. So please know we are thinking of you and praying for you at this time. We are grateful and thankful that, that is not our experience, but we do not forget those who are
Have
having
been
to go through
impacted.
that. Mm-hmm.
Imagine like those first responders, those people that are out there every day. So imagine if you were impacted by the tornado, then you are a nurse, a doctor, anyone like another counselor, and you
Mm-hmm.
were involved in that. You had one trauma or one trigger, and then
Mm-hmm.
the next thing you know, now you're in this like, okay, what is tomorrow gonna look like?
Exactly. I can't imagine. I mean, I really can't imagine. And I try to
Yeah,
empathize with that and
yeah,
provide support for that. But that is a unique narrative to have
yeah, a
for a
very
lot
unique
of
narrative.
individuals. So we have been pondering that, but also we're like, okay, we need to connect. So we
Right.
had to get very creative. Y'all know how we are with technology now.
And we don't have our technology people with us. So we had to figure this out on our own.
So this is the best y'all gonna get. Okay.
Right.
We did our best.
Right. Hey, we showed up.
How about
We're
that?
trying something. We're trying something new. We're gonna see how this works.
We'll see how it goes, right?
Yeah,
That's hilarious. So,
it
but
is.
I'm glad to see Dr. Lucretia know that she's doing well and she's taking care of herself. If you all don't know, Dr. Lucretia is an introvert. So she is probably loving this quarantine time. She's like, what? Why people complaining? This is amazing.
Yes, it has been great on that hand,
Mhm.
but something I have learned about myself is I like being at home, but I don't like the choice being taken away.
Now
Because
that's
I want to be able to go places when I want to go.
mhm.
And now, since I can't, I'm like, oh, okay. Now, so I've had to get more creative about some of the things that I do. Actually, last weekend, probably for the first time in I don't know how long, I went out in my backyard and sat down and enjoyed the scenery from there. And I
Oh,
don't, like I said, I don't know when was the last time that I just hung out in my backyard.
oh, that was nice. I this might be no, let me not fly. I do get dressed, y'all. Now I do get dressed. Now I can't promise y'all every day I get dressed, but I do get dressed. Now sometimes it's party on the top, pajamas on the bottom, but
Yeah,
I do get dressed some days, not all
yeah,
days.
I
Days.
understand that. A lot of yoga pants
A lot of
and
it.
t-shirts are, and
Mhm.
one of the individuals that I was talking to, she said I throw on a cardigan over my pajama shirt to look fancy.
So guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. That is me.
I was like, that's a good way to do it.
It is. I do. And I'll sit by the window and knock out sessions or, in the office, have those windows open and ready to go.
Yep.
But it has definitely been an experience. I mean,
Yep.
we will
It is.
all remember where we were for quarantine
Oh yes.
20. This will go down in the
This
history.
will have an impact. Just like when 9/11 happened, a
Hmm.
lot of people can tell, like you can tell where you were. This is what I was doing when this happened.
Hmm.
When they started talking about quarantine 2020, you're going to be able to say, this is what I was doing and this is how life was playing out for me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
I was thinking with the American Counseling Association when they
mhm,
were coming up there with their theme for Counseling Awareness Month, which this is Counseling Awareness Month,
it is.
and as counselors, they came up with that theme of burn bright, not out.
Hmm.
And this is a month where we as counselors really have to think about how we are not going to burn ourselves out to be able to provide services and the stress of how to make that quick switch
Yes.
from where we were doing counseling sessions in our office to having to switch quickly to telehealth.
And I mean, and I don't know about for you, but I did some telehealth, but not consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has been definitely more of an adjustment than I expected it to be. And I'm, of course, my house is quite, Dr. Dangerfield knows. My house is a little crunk, and I'm okay with
Mm-hmm.
that. We're a little deep, but it requires me to be very intentional about my scheduling and my time. I
Mm-hmm.
have two little kids here. I have a husband who actually works on the front lines. I have so it's just
Yeah.
I have to be very intentional. And so I've
Mm-hmm.
talked to a couple of other therapists, and they're kind of too like, man, I mean, you monitoring your face a lot more. You're like things that you weren't paying attention to maybe as much
Yes.
when you were besides the scheduling piece for consistency, there's also like, I know you have to really be that empathy and that rapport. You have to bring
Mm-hmm.
that through a screen. And
Yes.
especially in times like this, it could be, exhausting because people are hurting and scared and nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And so you really want to be present. But a lot of people don't know that takes a lot of energy to
It
really
does.
do that even in a face-to-face. So think about it over a screen. You really
Right.
got to go to the depths of you to ensure that that person
That's
is
the
feeling
thing.
safe in that moment. And so it's been an interesting adjustment. I agree with that, and definitely trying not to burn out from the
Mm-hmm.
experience.
And thinking about like how you can create some normalcy in what we consider our new normal,
Hmm.
and how to disconnect,
Yeah.
because when you're working from home and you're doing a lot of the screen time and then carrying some of the heaviness that some of our clients are carrying, it's like, how do I make sure that I take care of myself
Exactly.
so that
Very.
I won't burn out?
And it's funny, we are giving all these suggestions. We're on the phone, right? We're like, or in
Mhm.
our sessions, we're
Oh
like,
yeah, we tell
are
people
you
what
doing
to do.
self-care? How are you taking care of you? Are you doing
Hmm.
this? Have you tried this? And then we get off the phone or the call and we're like melting into our seats. And it's like, no, we
Right.
need to practice those things too. We can't just give them
Yes, we need to
recommendations.
apply what we're preaching. We need to apply because we know that a lot of the techniques that we share work.
Hmm.
We just need to learn how to apply them to ourselves.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. And so I think that was our big thing too. We were talking and we're like, it's so important. I don't know about you, but not just those who have been impacted with the diagnosis, but
Hmm.
those being impacted by the economy and
Yeah,
loss of jobs,
job.
loss of
Hmm.
401k, like people's,
All of that.
money
Yes.
is getting impacted because of the economy. People living in fear and that powerlessness, right? That's what I'm
Hmm.
hearing a lot of. Like,
Yes.
I have no control over this. Like you were
Hmm.
just saying, I want to choose when I get to stay home, not
Right.
you tell me or I'm
Me,
forced
I
to.
to
And
have to stay. Yeah.
yeah.
Or that the things that I thought I could control now are no longer in my control. And
Hmm.
even thinking about, we are a society of doers,
Hmm.
like constantly gotta be on. I gotta keep doing stuff, and then when almost like some of that comes to a complete halt, it's
Got
like
to do.
life is. looking real different.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
what am I supposed to do with this free time? And I've heard some people, I've heard some people from a critical place. It's like, if you don't, I saw one meme, if you don't come out of here with a better prayer life, a,
Oh,
a hobby, and all of this, then that means you. It's like, some people just need to rest
some people just need to rest.
and be okay with resting, saying, no, I'm not going to create a new business. Yeah, maybe, yes, your prayer life will look different because you like, okay, God, having that conversation. Okay, what we going to do? What we doing in all of this?
Exactly.
But not feeling that strain and that stress of having to be on and be
Mhm.
doing something.
Agreed. Agreed 100%. And that is that grace giving, right? I had to,
Yes, give yourself that. Yes.
yes, like you have to say, if I feel inadequate today, or if I feel like I didn't check a lot of boxes today, that's okay. That's okay. Because I'm like, how many times have I said, man, I really wish I could get more rest, or man, I really wish
Mm-hmm.
I could take a nap, or man, I really wish, and yes, I'm not minimizing the concerns of other people. Like, I get those concerns and stress that people have. But sometimes I always say this, God has a way of pressing that pause button. And sometimes we just got to sit down and be
Be
and
and that's it.
be,
And he hit the pause button
girl.
for the whole world. God was like, okay, I've been given, different people, because you hear people say, God told me I need to slow down, and then they say, then I found myself in the hospital. I found
Mm-hmm,
myself. He was like, oh, okay, so y'all not listening.
mm-hmm,
So he's
mm-hmm.
like, we about to go reset.
Reset. And I mean, it is. And I get it. And I do think one thing that I had to do and then like encourage my family to do was to stop watching so much news
Oh
and
yes,
you
disconnect
get
from
off of
that.
social media. And like, I know that you want to keep abreast of what's going on, but that is, impacting your emotional and mental and spiritual
Yes,
health,
most
honestly.
definitely.
You
Yes.
are taking all of that in and absorbing
Hmm.
it, and it has nowhere to go. And so it's just sitting in you. And then
Right.
you start the what ifs and oh Lord, all of those things
and
that can
and
come.
the anxiety. Yep, it leads to anxiety and depression because you're like, oh, what are we gonna do? Because we know that the news sometimes amplifies things,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but when we're sitting in it, we're taking it as like, how much of this is truth, and this is a lot of truth.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. And I said, I've been trying to tell a lot of people, including my clients and my friends and
Hmm.
my family, set boundaries. If there are
Yeah.
text messages coming and emails coming and they're
Hmm.
like overwhelming you, it's okay to say no thanks.
Right.
Thank you for wanting to keep me informed, but I'm
But
going to
no,
have
thank
to
you.
say strong no right here. And
Yes.
I'm good. What I need to know, I'll go find out for myself, but
Hmm.
I don't need you sharing that with me or sending that to me. And that's okay. That's not being rude or, not
No,
grateful for them
but
caring about
taking care,
you,
but taking care of yourself.
but taking care of yourself and recognizing that it's a bit too much for you.
Hmm.
So I've really been trying to encourage that a lot with everyone.
Yes, and there's a selection on Facebook where you can snooze somebody's post for 30 days.
Do what
Practice
you
that.
got to do.
Put them
Do
on
what you gotta
snooze, because we all know we have friends and family that they're gonna share every worst the worst news report,
do.
and they forget to share the positive of like how many people are really recovering from
Yes,
it and
yes.
the different things like that. So snooze them and
Mhm,
and limit your time on social media. It's like,
mhm,
okay, I can only take it in 10-minute bites.
mhm.
Scroll 10 minutes, then get off of it.
Right. And that's important. And I think like I don't know about you, a lot of questions that I've kind of been getting about this is how do you manage, how do I practice self-care, right? How do I take care of
Hmm.
myself in the midst of this? What do I do? And I've been trying to give out like as many suggestions and practice as many suggestions as possible
Hmm.
during this season. Um, a lot of family board game nights and family
Yes,
nights, movie nights, and a lot of like teaching people how to cook or kids how to make up a bed.
different things.
Man, so
Hmm.
everybody's going to be productive here. So really trying to work hard at, finding new things to do that aren't always
Yes,
focusing in on coronavirus, right?
Right.
And I had to be careful because I feel like I kept saying coronavirus and talking about it. That my daughter kind of got to the point like, now wait, what? Now we done talked about this coronavirus, but is it stopping everything? I'm like, I know, girl. My bad. You know, like I had to be mindful. So really try to make sure I get her
Yes.
out and get the kids out and doing things that I am not
Mhm.
always my conversation too. So kind of
Right.
changing the conversation, the things that you talk about, and using
Mhm.
social media outlets to stay connected with family and friends, like
Yes.
just trying to not get lost in, oh, I'm in a quarantine, right? What can I be
Right.
doing in the midst of this to be okay,
Mhm.
and not what is it, saturated, I guess,
Right.
in the, fear
And
and
and the
negativity.
and the fear and the different things that are people that is telling the story.
Mhm. So I wonder, do you think, and this is just my opinion, you tell me what you think. I feel like a lot of this is coming, is the fear of our mortality. And I
Oh
think
yes.
that is so close to home that,
Mhm.
you could be asymptomatic and you could be walking around, so I think there
Yes.
is this, whenever we're faced with our own mortality, we don't know how to manage that. And I feel
No,
like a
it
lot of
creates
this
more
is
anxiety and fear.
So I don't know. I feel like that's what I'm seeing. They
Mhm.
can't identify that that's what it is, but I feel like that is
But
what a lot.
that's what it is because
Mhm.
if you think about it, they especially when you're not getting a true cause for what has happened and
Mhm.
are how it's transferred from people, and then you see some people that they say, oh, he was healthy,
Mhm.
and then the next day he's not here, and it's like, oh, so I've taken care of myself, but so we don't have a true rhyme or reason.
Mhm.
And so it does make people think. And then also the whole thing of like if I go to the hospital, go to the ER, and get I get tested positive, I won't see my family.
Mm.
I may not see
Mhm.
my family again. I've
Yeah.
heard people say that I may
Mhm.
not see my family again. And so that creates more stress,
Mhm. Mhm.
and people are like, "Oh, so maybe I just won't go to," they like, maybe I just won't go to the hospital. I figure I
Mhm.
won't, but
Mhm.
the heightened feelings that we have,
Mhm.
and helping people to know that the feelings that you have are valid.
I was just gonna say that. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're valid.
Mhm.
Don't let someone make you think that because you're feeling this way, you're not spiritual enough, or you're not, that you're not smart enough. Don't let that be something that you ponder on, because
Mhm.
your feelings are valid.
Exactly. And I've been like, keep talking about it, right? I'm not saying,
Mhm.
belabor, but if you are having fear and
Mhm.
anxiety, talk it out. I think a lot of times the
Yeah.
reason we get so, anxiety filled is because we don't feel the feeling and talk
Right.
about it, process through it. We want to,
Right.
cut it off, stop
We want
it.
to act like yeah, act like we're not feeling it.
Exactly. And you're like, and now you're just sitting there with the conveyor belt brain where everything it's just
It's going
wrapping around your
everywhere.
mind.
Yeah.
Right. And it's okay to say, man, this is scary. I'm scared. I feel uncomfortable. Right. Like it's okay
Yeah.
to say that and talk about where it's coming from. Because one, somebody feels just like and two,
Hmm.
you know, somebody can validate or affirm you. And that is okay. Seek, the support of family or friends or a professional to,
Yeah.
process
Hmm.
through all of those feelings that you're having about the fear of dying, because that's what a lot of
Yeah.
this is, or your loved one dying, or
Right.
like you said, I've never seen my loved one. I have to go to this hospital by myself, and this could be dying alone. One of the
Yes.
biggest fears a
That's
lot
one
of
of the
people
biggest fears. Yes.
have, dying alone. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I mean, we totally get it, totally valid. It's okay to talk about it, y'all. It's okay to talk about
Have
it.
those conversations
It's okay to
because
have those
yeah.
conversations. So, what have you, my dear, been doing for you as we're trying to get on people out there? Like, what? Take care of yourselves. What have you been doing to take care of you?
Well, one, limiting my time on social media,
Hmm.
setting boundaries with other people,
Hmm.
reading, because I always that was
I was
my
like,
thing
that's just
anyway.
you in general. Yes,
Right.
you're a
So I
reader.
get to do some of the things that I really enjoy doing. And like I said, actually spending more time outside, spending more time in my backyard. And I was
Right.
like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
Got a nice backyard. I can go out here and just spend time out here just taking in some fresh air. But that's basically what I've been doing. What about yourself?
A lot of engaging, with my
Mhm.
family more, which has been
Yeah.
really nice. I don't know how they're going to ever go back to school. They probably think this is like normal for them,
This
but
is
it's been great.
this become new life. Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like
This
I'll
is new
look
life.
back at this and think like, man, it was so great to be home and kind of see them grow and evolve. It's been pretty cool. Got me a new prayer journal, so doing that,
Okay.
which is nice. And I think the really a lot of, like you said, setting healthy boundaries, like, no, don't send me anything else. I'm good.
Mhm.
Or not getting on social media. And honestly, watching, I'm not a big laugher, but like watching humorous things has
There you
been,
go. Yeah.
it's been really nice to do that. So I'm like trying to take some time, a couple hours a day to just kind of like do nothing, be
Hmm.
chill and watch something funny and laugh and,
Yep.
be a little light in the
Hmm.
midst of such, difficult and hard times. So it's
Yeah.
been nice. I like it. And doing Zoom calls have been fun.
Yeah.
Like my friends, I might not be able to see them, but we get to do Zoom calls and laugh and, chuckle about all the things. So that's been fun. I'm doing one with my siblings today. So
Okay. Okay.
that's
And
been
see,
nice.
we're gonna do a Zoom family dinner for Sunday for Easter.
I love that.
Uh, Something else I did last week was like a virtual happy hour.
Oh, been doing
Uh,
those. Yep.
yeah. And I don't know if you've seen the app. It's app called House Party.
Yes, my friend put
Yeah.
me on to that. Yes.
Hmm. It's
Yes.
like play games and different
Mm-hmm.
things. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So doing those things that we normally wouldn't do, or sit down and take the time to do. Yeah.
I like it. It's something refreshing about it too. Like
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
been, do I miss a good mall run? Of course, but I'm probably saving lots of money. Uh,
Yeah. You know what? Amazon, like I've been ordering things on Amazon, like, and it's not like it's essential things, but
right.
it's like, oh, but even going like learning how to go to the store online
Going in.
instead of having to go in, that has saved
Mm-hmm.
some money because when you go in the grocery store, you just pick up stuff because you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like being very intentional about what's on the list. Like, oh, okay,
Right.
this is what I need.
Exactly. You know what other really cool thing has been going on for me, which this is just for me personally. I've been able to go to so many different churches. Girl,
Yes,
I've been to so
yes,
many
you,
services across the
Jordan,
country.
right?
I'm like, oh, I've been wanting to visit their church. Quick, let me go.
Yep.
Oh,
Let
real.
me go. Yes.
I've been to Bible studies,
Yep.
weekday
That is
services,
so true. Yep.
Sunday night services.
That is so true.
I'm like, man,
Yep.
I've been to about 20 churches.
But you said, oh, now I know. Okay, the flow. Okay.
Here started so and so Eastern, so I can watch
Uh-huh.
so-and-so, then jump over to so and so. Oh,
Yep.
I've been to so many services.
That is that is true. I have too.
Oh, so that's been cool. I have like
Yeah.
definitely enjoyed that. I will not deny it.
Because you've been able to see. You're like, oh, I always wanted to hear you preach. Now I
I
can.
know. I
And
know.
I'll tell you something that was about the virtual church space. I had a friend. She used to live here in Nashville. She started out as my intern, and we become a good friend. But she always, when she lived here, she would say she wanted to go to church with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I shared the service was coming up. She was like, "I can go to church with you this Sunday,"
Let's go. Let's
and I was like, "Come on,
we can
I'm
do a
inviting you."
watch party. Like this is
Yes,
super cool.
yeah.
I love it. It's been nice. I like that. So
Mhm.
if you are wondering like, oh, I can't go to the church house can come straight to you. We are the
Yes.
church. So you can get online
Right.
um, and go to any service. Most
because yeah, I'm sure it's out there.
there is something available to you. What do you think about? I mean, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, my spiritual well-being." There's a lot of in the news now about churches still trying to have Easter service, even though we are all on safer at home in different states. So, what do you make of that? What do you think? Do you think that people should go to church on Sunday? I mean, because it's Resurrection Sunday, or are you like, "Come on, people"?
No, I think we need to stay safe at home
It's
because
different opinions about it
even prior to this, more people would come to church on Easter Sunday
around.
because we have Easter, Mother's
Yeah,
Day,
yeah,
and it's another
New
one.
Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah. So no, we can continue to watch the services from
Mhm,
home
mhm,
and have the same experience. Because as you said, the church is you.
mhm.
Just connect to a service.
Yeah, I was watching it on the news. I was like, I hear you, but I don't know. I don't think
Mhm.
that's godly wisdom, but that's my
Right.
belief system. I'm not trying to, put that on, but I was like, I just don't think that's wise. But
No,
okay.
because we're still trying to manage what's going on. Because even transitioning back into everyday life is not going to be something that we're going to be able to say, okay, they're going to say it's up on Friday, on Monday, everybody needs to return back to work. That's
Mhm,
not going to work.
mhm. I agree. I agree with you
Yeah.
100%. So let me say this. Did you have any feelings of like when this was first coming out, were you feeling any feelings of like anxiety or stress around it?
A little bit because I was like, what's going on?
Mhm.
Maybe not when it first came out. It was more so like, one case here, one case there. So,
Oh,
oh,
we've
okay,
been laughing
maybe,
about it.
yeah,
Big
because it was like, oh, one case here, one
and
case
just
there.
turn around back.
Then when the numbers start creeping, I'm like, hmm,
Mhm,
maybe, I'm like, this is something going on. Let's take this
mhm,
look. But I'll tell you, I probably did not have my biggest anxiety provoking moment. And I'll tell you, it actually happened at 3 o'clock this morning. I was asleep. I woke up out of my sleep
mm,
with a feeling of anxiety
mm,
about all of this. And I was like, whoa, what's going on?
mhm.
And so I was like, I had to lay there for a minute, then I had to pray. I was like, okay, God, we gotta have a conversation. What's going really? Because I know I've been talking to you every day, but like really, what you doing here?
Exactly. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, I agree. And I think sometimes people think like we have all the tools to not feel those feelings, but
Mm-mm.
no, they definitely come up for us too.
Yes,
I
because we're
definitely mine
human.
was a couple weeks ago, and I was
Hmm.
just that's when I had to set a boundary. I was realizing I was just absorbing so
Hmm.
much, and I started to feel like overwhelmed and stressed out by it. Like, oh, I'm like, oh, nope, they've extended how long the kids are out of school. Oh, no,
Yeah.
what? Oh, I'm essential, so I still got to work. Like, wait,
Hmm.
like it was just
Yeah.
all of this. Oh, people are dying. People are like
Yes.
not coming back from this. Wait a minute. And then I think I started seeing people still gathering because this was still kind of like early on.
Hmm.
And
And you're
so I was
like, for real?
frustrated at them. Like,
Right. Get in the house. Sit down. What part of
why
get
are
in the
y'all at
house?
beaches? Why are
Right.
y'all
What are
downtown?
you
Why are
doing?
you I had no power and control, and I just really started to feel this sense of being
Yeah.
overwhelmed by it. And I was like, okay, I have to set some healthy boundaries for
Hmm.
myself, or it is going to overwhelm me and stress me out. And my husband's in the healthcare profession, and
Right.
it just, yeah, I was like, okay, either I'm gonna be here a hot mess, or I'm gonna get myself together. I gotta
Yeah.
make a choice today.
Which choice? What's the choice that I'm gonna make?
Exactly. So, as the Counseling Association would say, I chose to burn bright versus out.
Yes.
And like, okay, I got to set some boundaries and not do this anymore. So that helped a lot. So I
Yes.
recommend that to you. If you feel yourself
Practice
like
what you preach.
watching this too much, or like do it. It
Yeah.
probably was a lifesaver for me.
Yeah. Practice what you preach.
Exactly. So are you going to be walking around with mask after this?
I don't know yet.
Hmm.
I have one. I have a mask that a friend made,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm. What I might do is let other people go test it out.
That is so your person.
Y'all go out there. So, like, if they say y'all can be moving around in the community as of May 1st, I'll still be doing probably business as usual here at the house.
That's so
See,
your personality.
see, that is me. I'm going. I'm on the Enneagram. I'm a 5. I'm an observer. So let's see how this works out for everybody.
That is
If
so
we got to get
true.
back in the house, I already be here. Because I'm telling you, when it started, and when that first case came out, I said, "Oh, okay." Then they start. I said, "You know what? I'm just not gonna keep going in and out the house. I'm gonna come on in."
That's you. That's you. Smart lady.
So when people say, "Well, how long you been on quarantine?" I said, "Almost a month. I've been out of the house 1 or 2 times, but
Ooh, that's
yeah,
my
I'm gonna see
girl.
how. I'm gonna see how this. I'm gonna see how this impacted everybody else.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
That's so accurate.
I ain't gonna be just jumping out there because they haven't
Ooh,
given us any answers."
they have not. They have not.
And
You right
I'm a
about
person,
that.
I need to kind of know, like, what y'all know about this. And I need
Hmm.
to know the truth. I don't need you to be making up something.
Exactly. I agree with that. Girl. So yeah, it has been, I think, a very valuable learning
Oh,
experience.
yeah.
I was thinking this morning, last night, I can't remember. I was like, wow, I feel like as counselors, we have definitely advocated for us to have a voice for so long,
This is,
next to our counterparts within this kind of
hmm
profession. And so the beauty I have seen for our profession is that
yeah.
we have a voice, right? And
Yes.
the need for us is so apparent. I mean, if you look at New York, I think they're doing a whole initiative to get
hmm
therapists and clinicians there
Yes.
to provide mental health services. So,
Yes. We're
um,
seeing
you
more states are opening up that opportunity for that portability.
mhm,
And even here in the state of Tennessee, we've had to look at things
mhm,
different because when it first started, even with master's level clinicians not being able to provide telehealth, and then they had to move it to where, they had to ease up on some of the laws.
mhm,
And it's like, okay, this is going to be our new normal. This is
mhm,
not, we're not going to be able to go back to those archaic ways.
mhm.
And it's and I'm hoping that this opens up the door for even for professional counselors to do Medicare
Agree.
reimbursement, those things, because
Mhm.
people are going to, they need our services anyway, but there most definitely is going to be a greater need.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, I guess our final thing is, do you have Dr. Dangerfield? Any parting, encouraging, motivating, inspiring suggestions, recommendations for the lovely
So
of Brown Girl Banter that you would want to give them in this taping?
yeah, just make sure you're taking care of yourself, and this is the time to really get to a place of being with yourself, to get to know who you are during this time, and to think about what you want to take away from this time that you
Mhm.
want to be intentional about implementing in life once we go back to whatever our new normal is going to be. Start thinking about that. If it's, I've had more family time, I've connected with it. Don't let it stop because they've said, they're saying you can go back and do business as we had it. Mm-mm. Keep some of those things. You know, if you don't have a relationship with God, my thing is connect with Him because He's seeing us through this.
Mhm.
I'm reading more of the
Mhm.
Bible. Just really getting clarity about purpose and
Mhm.
being very intentional about what your purpose is. Because before this, if you were not liking your job and wasn't liking your purpose, this might be an opportunity to figure out what it is that I was created to do and who am I called to serve, and get out there and do it.
I
Don't
love
waste
that.
time.
Mhm. I love that.
What
Amazing.
about you, ma'am?
Oh no, we dropping the mic with that because that don't need nothing to go with it. We dropping the mic with that. Only thing I would say is, and if you need someone to help you with an exit strategy, call Dr. Dangerfield.
Yep,
She
I'm good at
is
create. I'm good at helping you think about it and executing your exit strategy.
right. Y'all know I told y'all that a couple months ago. I was like, y'all, she will
Mhm,
get you out of that thing. So
mhm.
if you have, questions about that, she is an excellent resource for those type of things. So the thing we want, though, you will know what we always ask you to do. Leave comments for what you're doing. How are
Yeah.
you coping? How are you managing? How are you taking care of yourself? We also want, if you have questions for us or concerns or issues, please feel free to drop a comment and let us know. We will follow up with you. You can always DM us as well and let us know. We it's important, and we really care about your mental health, your emotional self, your spiritual self. So don't feel like you got to go at any of this alone. And if we can be of any service or help or a resource for that, just let us know. We can help you look for somebody in your area, or if we can help you, we will. Just reach out and let us know. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Well, as always, you can always find me and Dr. Dangerfield at our social media sites. You are the one who does this for us every single tape. So who are we?
We are on Instagram at I am Brown Girl Banter. I am Dr. Dangerfield. And
you can find me at I am Dr. Patience. And where we at on Facebook, Dr. Dangerfield?
On Facebook, we are Professional Brown Girls. As
Which
always,
is very accurate, even though it's not the name of who we are.
Right. But we already know. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can get notifications of when we do new things and post new things. Go back, if you haven't caught some of the episodes, go back and watch them. If you caught them and they were good, go back and watch them.
Please do. Please do. Be sure to share and like and subscribe to our channel. We definitely are going to use this outlet to stay connected. And so please be sure that you are accessible to us. So follow us on social media. Be sure to like the page, because this is how we are going to reach out and connect to you during this time that we do believe, safer at home. So
yes, we are.
Take full advantage of that. So
yes, please.
I guess that's the end for us today.
That's it.
That's it. You all take care. We look forward to speaking with you soon. Leave comments, get in touch with us, DM us if you need to. And you all, please take care of yourself. Stay healthy.
Yes, please.
Stay safe. We'll be praying for everyone, those who have been impacted by this disease. And we just are frontline staff, our essential staff, grocery store, pharmacists,
everybody.
People. I mean, these professional people who are out there sacrificing for us. We appreciate you. We applaud you. We thank you. So you can always find us. We look forward to talking to you soon. Bye, Brown Girl.
Bye, Brown Girl Banter.